Hello, my fellow human, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should this message happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently around here, so I do suggest that you strap in, hang on, and we're going to find out together. So today we are getting a message from the ancestors for you. This is something that they've been trying to get to you, trying to help you see, help you understand. So we're going to find out what that is. I'm going to be using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle card by Kyle Gray. So let us go ahead and hop to your prayer, and we will get this reading underway. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Today I ask that you bring forth the ancestor messages that they need to hear, that will help them step forth boldly on their journey and know which steps are theirs to take, and to know that the path ahead, while it might have its challenges, it is not insurmountable. That with a little bold courage, and knowing that we can face our fears and that we can stand strong in adversities and challenges, that we will get to where we're going. Sometimes it feels hopeless, though, Source. Sometimes we've done so much work and put forth so much effort that it's just this constant question of basically, are we there yet? You know? Are things going to ever settle down? Are things going to ever work out for us? Or are we always going to have to continue on this difficult journey? And only you know that answer. Only you can help us figure that out for ourselves, as each one of us is going to be vastly different from the other. So today I ask that the ancestors bring forth the messages that will ease our question, will ease our heart, and re-inspire the spark within, so that we can traverse this path with the knowledge that we will make it to where we're going. As these words are spoken onto this reading and upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right, so let me get that set up over here. All right, get this out of the way. Give this a quick shuffle. So what is the message from the ancestors for my fellow humans today? What is the message from the ancestors for my fellow humans? Do they need to hear? Do they need to hear from the ancestors? Thank you. What do they need to hear from the ancestors today? Definitely a lot of wisdom, it feels like. And I also do have a channel message, but we'll get there when we get to the collective energy. So for pile number 1, what Angels and Ancestors Oracle card will help us better understand the message from pile number 1's ancestors? Okay, thank you. For pile number 2, what Angels and Ancestors Oracle card will help us better understand the message from pile number 2's ancestors? Thank you. And for pile number 3, what Angels and Ancestors Oracle card will help us better understand the message from pile number 3's ancestors? Thank you. Okay, so before we get to the bottom of the deck, I feel like I need to talk about the channel message that was coming through. So I've talked about this before because I always shuffle so that I'm ready to go for when I open the boxes the next time. So I don't just shove my cards back in their box. Like, I have this little ritual that I go through to shuffle the cards and to make sure that everything's ready. So it's fresh energy. I can just do some clearing with them and use the sage or use the Palo Santo to clear out the energy when I get started. And yesterday I used both of these decks. These are the decks I have by Sue. Hold on. You can find the book. Anyways, it's the gold deck and the this deck here, Azure Oracle by Sue Hilder and the Gold Oracle by Sue Hilder as well. They're both by Sue Hilder. I brought these out. They're still a new deck to me. Two different decks. But on the bottom of both of them, we have pure water. Drink filtered rainwater or spring water from a good source if possible. And then on the other one, I put them right next to each other and I was like, huh, that's interesting. And Source said that this is a channeled message for the ancestors' message. We had 59, which water has memory. Everything made of water is affected by thoughts directed at it. Right away, I feel like there's a message coming through that it's important for you to listen to healing frequencies. And the reason being is because when I saw this card here, it made me think of, and I can't remember his name, he's a Japanese doctor, and he takes dirty water and he puts it into a container and he points frequencies at it, and the frequencies heal the impurities from the water, okay? And so I feel like your ancestors are telling you, like, there's a need to heal certain impurities within your vessel, and that listening to healing frequencies will help with that. And it's not a specific frequency that you should listen to. 529 is coming through, but okay, and 592. I don't even know if those are hertz that you can listen to, but check them out. And the other thing is that you have to listen to your intuition here because everybody's at a different place on their journey and thus will need different healing frequencies that will help them out, okay? But this was such a strong message coming through here. Yeah, it was so strong. And I thought that was crazy because these are two different decks and they came out. And I didn't even know that when I put it away yesterday. I wasn't even paying attention, which is why it's such a channeled message, right? It's just something that's coming through right away. Let's take a look at what's on the bottom here. We have the Hunter. Track down your fears and your desires. Yeah, and it's time for you to stand boldly on your journey. We have the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movements and actions. This just feels like, isn't it interesting, because in the prayer I was talking about being fearless and courageous while we move forward on the difficult parts of our journey. You know, it's never easy having to do these long journeys. It's never easy having to go through life. Life is meant to have ups and downs. Like, there's no way around that because we live in this contrast realm. So there's always going to be positive moments, there's going to be negative moments, there's going to be all kinds of moments all over the board. But ultimately, the only thing that we're truly working for is to find consistency within ourselves. And that consistency that we show up, which is why Shaolin Master is here, that consistency allows us to face anything that comes up in our day-to-day, whether it's positive, negative, or somewhere in between. It allows us to show up from a very grounded place, and it allows us to come from a place of partial instinct, but pure love as well is coming in. And so I feel like that's why it's so important right now for you to cleanse your aura, because there might be a fear that is getting in the way of your desires. There might be a feeling of not being good enough that's getting in the way of you going towards what it is that you desire. And you might need assistance to help clean that out or to clear that from your vessel. And doing so will help re-inspire the spark within to give you the courage you need to go forward. So I'm going to read this from the book, and let's see what the Hunter says. Track down all of your fearful thoughts and feelings. When you find them, you will find your desires too. The Hunter card is based on the Celtic god Cernunnos. He's a stag god of the wild and represents both the hunted and the hunter. Similarly, the hunter helps you connect with an energy that is both fearful and fearless. Your fears are the only things that are standing between you and what you desire at this time. So you've come to face with them as the hunter does with wild animals and goes beyond them. Instead of being hunted down by your fears or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You are being given confidence and strength at this time, so use your power to make a difference. You are not to cower away or live in the shadows. You are here to realize your fullest potential, but this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or to bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. The other message that's coming through as well is that this could be something that comes up in the reading today, and that will be what it is that you're meant to face or what it is that you are currently facing along the journey, okay? So that's a really powerful message to start. You're being given a lot of courage and strength here, and this could also be facing your ancestral generational curses as well, which is incredibly powerful, right? Because you're letting go of things that were never yours to deal with or carry, but because of the lineage, you're ending up carrying them anyways, right? So today we're doing Pick Your Amethyst. So for pile number 1, I have this beautiful chunk of amethyst for you to choose from. Okay. We have this dice with Neptune on it. For pile number 2, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst for you to choose from. We have this dice with Pluto on it. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful piece of amethyst. We have this dice with Mercury on it. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you. And with that being said, I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this dice with Neptune on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the message your ancestors have for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anybody new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should this message happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little differently around here. So I just recommend strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. Okay? So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out. Ancestors of pile number 1, what is the message you have for them? Ancestors of pile number 1, what is the message that you have for them? What would you like them to know? So we've got the second house, Sagittarius energy, and the sun. So I'm hearing taking action towards your financial stability. This is something that you've been doing for a while. This is something you've been working on. You've been really trying to secure financial security. And your ancestors are definitely helping you with that. They're trying to make sure that things are falling in the right direction for you. There is still an element of you needing to put forth the effort, whether that's learning new things, gaining as much information as you can. But also with the sun here, it's about putting yourself out there. They want to address this fear of not feeling like you deserve to be seen. You're working on your self-confidence, you're working on your value, you're working on your self-worth, but there's still an underlying fear that's being made present here in the reading, where it's like, I'm fearing being seen. I'm afraid of what could go wrong, what people might say, how people can perceive me, what's not being said to me. And all of these fears, while they are legitimate, are actually the illusion keeping you from seeing and embracing your full potential. They're keeping you in a place of feeling like you'll never be able to manifest the financial security that you want in this lifetime. And maybe that's to enjoy luxuries. Maybe that's to travel. Maybe that is to experience things that you've never experienced before, or to buy a nice house, or to buy a nice car, or even to take your kids somewhere where they can go to a nice school, or even maybe you want to go to college but you want to pay for it yourself instead of getting loans, maybe so you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You know, whatever the circumstance is here, it does feel like you're really working to manifest financial abundance. And while maybe your bills are taken care of, and you know, you have everything that you need, and there's nothing wrong with wanting more, but I do feel like there's an element of a generational curse coming through, where it feels like this is all my generations have ever done in my lineage, is always made sure that the bills are paid for and food's on the table. But none of them have ever had the money to go somewhere else, or do something new, or even take the kids to the zoo, or even I want to go to the aquarium, or I want to be able to take myself out to that really fancy restaurant that just opened downtown, but I have never been able to do something like that. And I really want this financial security where I can feel like I'm not extending myself. And so the ancestors are definitely pointing that out here with the dice. We're going to find out some more with the tarot and see what comes through. Interesting. And it's like you want the financial security so bad, but it's almost like not bad enough to let yourself be seen, or there's a childhood wound somewhere that is really playing havoc with your shadow, right? And not letting you step forward. Yeah. Alright, ancestors, what is the message that you've been trying to get to pile 1? What is the message they need from you? Yeah, they're trying to offer you solace and love and grace. They're trying to offer you support as well, and to show you just how fortunate you truly are. And it's not that you're not grateful. I do feel like you're very grateful. I feel like what they're trying to show you is just how fast you can manifest when you let yourself be seen and not be afraid of yourself. So they're showing me like someone who is a painter here, and you have been noticed by people, but maybe you're just afraid. Like someone offers you a gallery spot and you're like, wow, this is like the coolest thing ever. And there's going to be maybe thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that see your paintings. But it's like that right there is enough to send you, palms are sweating, you're perspirating, you're breathing hard, your heart's pounding hard. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. And they're saying it's scary, of course, because you don't know what's going to happen, but to embrace that as well and know that it's an amazing opportunity. So I feel like there is a big opportunity that's coming for you as well, but they want you to be prepared to take it. They want you to know that it is yours and only yours. Right? And that could be like maybe you're writing a book, or maybe you're getting a promotion at work, or maybe you're changing jobs and you're getting a much higher status position. Yeah, this is the completion of a cycle for you. They're trying, so what they've been trying to get out to you is helping you heal this feeling of you not feeling like you deserve to be seen. Right? I feel like that is playing at maybe when you were a child, your parents dismissed your feelings, or they dismissed you when you did something that you were really proud of and you just wanted to show them, for validation and recognition. That's what we go to our parents for as children, and there's nothing wrong with that. But maybe every time you went to your parents and you showed them the things that you were creating and they were just like, oh, whatever, or they never had time for you. And hearing that over and over again makes us feel like we're not worthy of taking up space. And your ancestors are trying to show you here that you are worthy of taking up space, that there's a new transition here that's happening for you in your life, and we want you to walk through this portal. We want you to walk through this gate and take everything that you've learned up until this point and show the world who you really are. You're not someone who's supposed to play small. Look at this. You got the sun and the world. Like, let's stop here before we move on. You got the sun in the dice, and we have the sun here, right? Shining a light on it. The sun is the world would cease to exist without the sun, right? There wouldn't be an earth as we know it without the sun. I mean, there's other components, but let's just be real. If the sun dies, like, our planet dies, And the sun lights up the whole world around us. And I feel like they're trying to tell you what you see is this insurmountable wall is actually something that's very small. And when you're on the other side of it, there's going to be this feeling of like, wow, I was so concerned about nothing this whole time. But that's not to make it, to invalidate your feelings, because they're recognizing that this feels huge to you. But they also are trying to encourage you in a way that feels natural so that you'll take the plunge or take the leap or go the distance here. And that's what your ancestors have been trying to tell you, is that you are so much stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. But more than that, you're also so much more talented than you're giving yourself credit for. Let's see what else is coming out in your reading here. Yeah, the Ace of Coins in the reverse. Okay. Okay. A lot of broken heart. So they're trying to show you here that they absolutely understand why it's difficult for you. There's either one very huge heartbreak that you experienced in your life, or there's a multitude of different heartbreaks that have come up in your life. People who have taken so much from you and have made it seem like you were theirs to run dry, right? To bleed is what's coming through. Wow, that's an interesting way to put it. And there was a lot of maybe romantic struggles here. This could be, it could be familial, but it really feels like romantic struggles here. Dealing with possibly the father wound because the sun is here. And we're trying to help bring this to a close for you so you're not facing this part of yourself and rejecting that part of yourself that had to go through these experiences, or maybe that have identified solely with the experience and not with what it has shown you or taught you through the process. And we can say for sure that it has taught you what you don't want. And we want to bring in this happiness. We want to bring in this light. We want to bring in this good energy. But there's still a struggle here because there's something that's playing over and over again, and it's been manifesting, or it is a physical manifestation still of heartbreak. So maybe you're still dealing with a very difficult relationship, or you have a child with somebody who is a very difficult relationship in your life. And what they're saying is that if that's the case, they're showing me that the child is the light. Right? So your baby or your children are the light of this terrible situation. And instead of focusing on the other person that's in this, can you focus on the blessings that are coming from that so that you can let go of this feeling of needing to feel like you have to be small? And maybe that's because you're getting feedback from, you know, your child's mother or father here. Maybe you're getting this energy like they don't want you to be seen, they don't want you to go out there, think about the children, and it's like that's all you've ever thought about. I know this is a very specific message, so hang with me. That's all you've thought about is the children. But when you shine and let yourself be seen, you give permission to your children to be seen as well for their gifts, their talents, and their abilities. And that in and of itself heals immediately the generational curse that has been having you go through financial upset as well as broken hearts with people who don't want you to be who you are. So the ancestors are really trying to help you heal this part of your life, this part of your journey. And you will, when you choose to be seen, when you choose to express yourself, when you choose to put yourself out there, you go from the sun energy straight to the world, which is a total completion. You're literally changing your energy and coming into this higher frequency, this higher vibration that's incredibly balanced. You could have been dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, an Aquarius, a Scorpio, a Virgo, a Capricorn. Heavy Leo energy here, though. Okay, so you could be Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. The person they're depicting here could have been Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus with Leo. You could be Sagittarius Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Sun, Sagittarius in the second house. Okay. That's what's coming through right now. So what they've been trying to help you with, though, is just seeing that you're worthy of good things in your life. There's a doubt that keeps popping up. Like, well, I want to go out there, want to be seen, I want good things, but it's not happened in the past. So what makes it different now? And the difference that they've been trying to show you is that you've done so much healing. You've done the work, and things aren't going to change overnight. It's not like you're going to walk through this portal and tomorrow you're going to be an entirely different person. It's taking steps each and every day, and one day you're going to look back and you're going to recognize that, wow, that was something that I thought was impossible, and it was the biggest, greatest blessing in my life, was choosing to let myself be in this light and be seen and be recognized by everyone that needed the services that I was offering, or that needed my thoughts, my creativity, or whatever it is that you're creating right now. Let's get some oracle out. There's also a sense of guilt here. Yeah, okay, Virgo is very strong too. Virgo coming out. Like, Integrity, reverence, and service. Yeah, so you're offering some sort of a service to others, and it's vital to the world at this time, right? And that's why they want you to shine your light in this way. Let's get one more. Okay. On the bottom, look, Sagittarius again. Optimism, freedom, and exploration. So they want you to be free of something that has made you feel little, or made you feel small, or made you feel insignificant for too long. What else would you like them to know, ancestors? Okay, they want one more of these. What else would you like them to know, ancestors? Thank you. On the bottom, we've got the banishing ritual. Use this ritual to banish negative entities in or around your home, right? So that's exactly this energy. It's finding this balance within yourself and taking this step to go the distance, and then banishing this negative energy that has had a hold in your life for too long. And it's okay, pile one. No one here is saying, like, how could you hold on to this for so long? No one here is saying, like, oh my gosh, like, other people figured it out. Why aren't you? That is not what's being said here at all, okay? No one is blaming you. You have to take the time to do it in your own way that's comfortable for you. And that's going to be different for everyone else. And I also feel like they're saying that too because they don't want you to compare yourself to others as well. You've done enough of that, okay? You've done too much comparing yourself to other people and thinking that you have to be a certain way in order to be seen or in order to be successful. That's not at all. You have to believe and trust that you have everything it takes to get there. Look, intelligence with number 11. You are intelligent. Use your intelligence to solve problems and get the life you want, right? You probably also have an incredibly high IQ with Einstein being shown here, but also spiritual intelligence too, and to trust that spiritual intelligence, to trust those intuitive nudges that you're receiving. You're receiving them for a reason. Thank you. On the bottom, look, oh wow, failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. This is that energy I was getting. It's like, well, it hasn't happened before. Why would it happen now? Because you've learned lessons. You've learned what you don't want. You learned what hasn't worked. And sometimes we have to keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up until things change. It's a process of mundane actions that create success in life. But through those daily mundane actions, there are going to be constant failures. What we see is failures, and they're really not. They're just obstacles, right? Like in the sun card here, it's just an obstacle. But you go over that obstacle because that's your routine. You know you have to. And so not seeing yourself as a failure anymore, seeing yourself as someone who's brave enough to keep standing up after you fall down, dusting yourself off and putting forth the effort. So many people give up way too soon. And your ancestors, they see how strong you are and they don't want to see you give up because they know that something amazing is coming for you, something that you could only hope of. Okay, they want me to show this one. Look at this. Imum Coeli with make peace with the past. You can't change what's happened. You can't. It's but holding on to it and letting it determine how you show up in life is creating a lot of dissonance within your current reality. It's like, we don't want the future to be the past, but if in the present all we're focusing on is the past, then we're making our future become the past because that's all we're thinking about is like, oh my gosh, so-and-so did this to me. Oh my gosh, so-and-so did that to me. Oh my gosh, I had to go through this. Or oh my gosh, like, it's okay to think about the past with the intention to feel into the emotions that we were experiencing at that time so that we can go through it and let it go, but not reminiscing or replaying it over and over again. Okay. Also, I want to mention here that someone might have epilepsy and another person might have been dealing with or had a stroke recently. And I know that's an incredibly specific message, but they're just saying this is especially important for you. And that for those of you that resonates with, they also are saying to check out the Louise Hay You Can Heal Your Life book. And checking out those two things in there, because it's going to make a lot more sense for you as well. Okay, rather than me going into it, but they're saying definitely check those out for yourself, for your well-being. Like we have Mercury, dive into the details. Yeah, the details matter. Okay, so, and the details here are not what you experienced, it's the detail of that experience, which is the emotions. Okay, and that's what's the thing that really they want you to heal. They really want you to focus on overcoming and also giving yourself grace, space, and time. Okay, there's no rush here. We're not trying to rush you. Oh my gosh, you have to be completely healed tomorrow. Never ever would they be like that. That's absolutely crazy. If people are telling you like you need to do this now, you know, like that's something to look at, because everybody's healing is different. And I can't, like I said, I can't say this will happen tomorrow. I can't say it'll even happen next year. But if you're not making steps to do it with the intent to heal right now, which you know you're capable of doing, Pile 1, because you've done so much healing, then it will always be that thing that continues to cycle back into your life. Okay? Make peace. Make peace with the past. Peace. Yeah, they want you to come into this place of peace. I just want to really get a shadow aspect, because I really feel like it's important for this type of reading what's coming through here. Yeah, okay. So let's see what's on the bottom. Dark side. Look at this. Your dark side keeps you from enjoying the love you have. Don't let it steal your joy. The shadow side is winning here, okay? Because there's no integration with this particular part of your shadow. And they're asking you to come into a place of integrating this part of your shadow. Look, the North Node. You're destined to have success, financial freedom, okay? Financial stability. The main thing, regardless if it's financial freedom or financial independence, the thing here, Pile 1, is that you are meant to have financial security. Okay, and that's going to be different for everybody, but you're meant to have financial security. No guts, no glory. Be brave. Go and do what you want to do. Don't hold yourself back anymore. You deserve to see what you desire to come into fruition, to be manifest in this physical world. The quantum field. The invisible field of information that exists beyond this space and time. This always makes me feel like quantum jumping. Going through the portal here, we saw that with the world card. This is very telling, because I feel like they're trying to help you quantum jump here. They're trying to help you shift realities. And they've been working with you on this because you've done so much inner work. But there's something here that you maybe have shoved under the rug because it's too difficult to face, or it's too scary, or it was really scary when it happened. And it does feel like it's inner child, adolescence age that this may have happened. And it's that one thing that is actually going to help you really change and shift your vibrational frequency into the frequency of abundance, right? Be brave. You remind your child, your inner child, they're safe, they're sound, and I'm not leaving you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here with you, helping you through this. Angels and guides. Call on your angels and guides. They can see that you need help. Oh my gosh. Even your ancestors are saying, call on your guides, call on your angels, call on us. We are here for you, okay? Say yes. It is far better that you attempt to do something great and fail than not try at all. Wow, look at this synchronicity here. Failure and to try yet. Oh my gosh, I love this. Yeah, they want you to do it. It's better to try it and it not go through, because at least you won't have a regret of not doing it. You'll be in that place of like, you know what? I did it, and that made me a stronger, better, braver person. Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. This has been really difficult for you, and this makes me feel like, even though there's a grief card in this deck, okay, this makes me feel like you've been grieving something for an incredibly long time that now you identify so deeply with your grief that it feels like if I let go of my grief, I'm losing an integral part of myself. And they're saying that it's important for you to see that the ending is just a new beginning, right? It's not gonna harm you. It's going to free you. 11th house, build your community. They want you to find people who are for you, people who are in your energy, lifting you up, supporting you, making you feel good about yourself, reminding you how powerful you are, how amazing you are. Pain. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so telling. They want you to go from pain to peace. Like, that is so... Okay, like these correspond with the colors. This is the prism deck. Okay, and so this is with the red. Okay, the root chakra. This is at the bottom of the deck with the reds, and this is at the top of the deck with the whites, right before the black. And this is consciousness to me. This is pure, undiluted consciousness. And this is just being stuck in the 3D, in the mundane. And so your ancestors are trying to take you from a place of pain to a place of peace where you are loved, supported, and seen for exactly who you are. And there's something here that once you face, it will take you to that other side of the journey. You'll quantum jump. Drowning. You feel you are going under and barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. Ask for help has come out quite a bit here for you. I feel like you're thinking you have to do it all by yourself, but your ancestors are being very clear here. You were never designed to do it by yourself. Okay, and we've never left you, and all you have to do is ask us. And here's a very powerful prayer for you. I use this on the regular because I was one of those people who never asked for help either. But I always say, my angels, my guides, my ancestors, all of highest light and love, I give you permission to interfere in my life as you see fit to help guide me back towards my path of purpose. And it has come in so handy for so many things. So I'm giving you this prayer, pile number 1, to use. Make it your own and find something that resonates with you. But ask your guides, ask your ancestors, ask your angels for help. Okay? Wow. Look at this. Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. So the message from your ancestors is that they're trying to nurture you. They're trying to help you see that you are so worthy of love, that you're this beautiful person that is meant to be seen. And yes, you've experienced some harrowing things and you've gone through the depths of darkness, but you are not designed to stay in those dark places. You are designed to shine the light on those dark places, and that helps others heal. But more importantly, pile 1, it helps you to heal. It says, allow yourself to be cherished. Earth Mother is protecting you with the shield of love and light. Earth Mother is the female counterpart to Sky Father. It's auspicious to receive this card because in the eyes and the heart of the Earth Mother, you are her child. And she is highly protective of her baby. And will give you everything you need to grow and expand. Earth Mother is only covered by leaves in this card, showing the vulnerability of the earth. Every day she experiences challenges that she has to adapt to and overcome. Her energy represented by the symbol of the pagan triple goddess. The maiden, the mother, and the crone. Behind her, Behind her can help you adapt as the changes of life come your way. You may have felt overwhelmed or out of control emotionally recently, but you are now moving back to your natural center, and that will bring you to a place of clarity and openness. If you have felt ungrounded, know that Earth Mother is here to root you and help you regain your sense of strength. You may not feel like a child, but in the eyes of the divine, you are a child of light, and it is important to know that you feel loved. If you have had challenges with your mother or with being a mother yourself, know that the energies of mother healing are with you to help clear any ancestral blockages that are preventing you from making this sacred love connection. You're being guided to make choices that are based on love. Oh my gosh. I need just a second, guys. So powerful. I can feel that. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it happens on these readings. Woo. What I wanted to say is that it's so incredible, and I couldn't even get excited about it because the tears were so... They had to come out. The tears have to come out. And so, but isn't it interesting that I kept feeling at the beginning like maybe you're a mother or a father, and this is talking about being a mother, or, you know, even still, you could be a very feminine father here who's very in touch with your femininity, and that's perfectly fine. Whatever you identify with, it doesn't matter, but it's talking about taking care of the inner child as well, and that's been something that's been so clear throughout this entire reading. And what your ancestors have been trying to get to you is taking you from this place of pain. From this place of pain into this place of peace. And remembering that you are so loved and held, and that you are so vital to the world around us. And that you're never alone on this journey. Okay? Oh my goodness. Here's a great big hug, pile one. Because I know you need it. I know you need it so much. Just know that you are so loved. I love you and I appreciate you so much. And you're so brave to go through the things that you've gone through. And you survived. And you're still doing the thing. Okay? So this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little world emoji down below and say, I am vital to this world. I'm supported and I am loved. And above all else, I am so strong. I continue to survive and thrive every day. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angels, source, and my spirit guides, and a special shout out to the ancestors for coming through to give you this message today. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful amethyst, or if you were drawn to this dice with Pluto on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on the message from the ancestors for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit different around here. So I just suggest strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. So with that, let's hop to it and find out. Ancestors of highest light and love, what message do you have for pile number 2? Ancestors of highest light and love, what is the message that you have today for pile number 2? Would you like them to know? Okay, so we've got the 11th house, we have Virgo, and we've got Venus energy coming through. Let me grab my block. It's been a lonely journey. Heard that very clearly. How do I hear that song? 1 is the loneliest number that you ever... I don't know how it goes, but that's what's coming in. 1 is the loneliest number. Who sings that song? If you know who sings that song, would you comment that down below for other pile number 2s? Yeah, it's like I keep hearing that. Feeling very lonely. Feeling like no matter what you do, you're not going to ever magnetize the people that you want in your life. You're not ever going to be able to connect with people who share the same vision as you. And your ancestors are saying that you're actually meant to connect with people. And actually, I feel like for many of you, pile 2, you're going to be connecting with people first and foremost over the internet. This is what this feels like. If you haven't already built a community. But honestly, it feels like you're going to be connecting with your community online first, and then you're going to be building a community around you based on those connections that you've made online. And that's really what it feels like, especially with the 11th house here. And your ancestors are reminding you that your routines, your boring daily routines, we talked about that in the intro too, right? But those boring routines that you're doing, that you show up for every day, like you always go to the gym at the same time, you wake up at the same time, you might have the same certain meals every week, and you might journal at the same time, you might practice gratitude at the same time, you might sit down and read and study at the same time, whatever it is, going to work every day at the same time, all these things, they're going to get you to where you're going because that's the process. And you're diligently showing up for that process. But they also want to warn you against feeling like you have to be perfect every day and do the exact same thing every day. So just say you go to the gym for 45 minutes every day. And maybe you skip a day because you're like, well, I don't have 45 minutes to go to the gym today, so I can't go at all. They're saying, isn't it better just to go for 20 minutes if that's all you have so that you can stay consistent with that? Or is it better to skip? And now, please, this is not an invitation that you have to work out 7 days a week or anything like that. That's just the example that they're showing me. Okay, so it's better to show up for 5 minutes if all you have is 5 minutes, rather than not showing up at all. And that's what they want you to remember, is that this is not about being perfect. This is not about, I have to show up exactly at this time every day in exactly the same way. And I feel like that's something that you may have struggled with for a long time on your journey. And they're saying that that is not how it is at all, right? Because every day is different. You show up as a new human every day. And this is actually what helps you magnetize to you the abundance that you're looking for in your life, but also a feeling of harmony within. This really does feel like finding balance in a harmonious space to live in and be with yourself in, instead of worrying about being a robot and overperforming all the time. Let's get some tarot on it. Interesting. Already some interesting energies. You're very resilient, determined, and decisive, and those are going to help pay off in the long run. Okay, ancestors, what is a message that you have for pile number 2? Would you like them to know? What's a message that you have for pile number 2? What would you like them to know? Okay, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of like worrying if you don't do it a certain way that people might not think that you, maybe that you are consistent, or, you know, okay, so they're showing me when I first started my yoga journey. Okay, this is what they're showing me. They want me to share this with you. When I first started my yoga journey, I was doing 90 minutes of yoga every day. I started out with a 90 for 90, and I made it through it. Now, I didn't do yoga every day, but I actually made it through it, and that's what helped me create a consistent yoga practice. And then for the next 2 years, I would only do yoga if I had 90 minutes to spare, and I would wake up at 4 o'clock every morning so that I could make that 90 minutes. But by the end of the day, I was exhausted because I was doing so much with my day. And I learned after the 2 years that it wasn't about the 90 minutes, which is a powerful time to dedicate to a practice, any practice, right? That's a very powerful time. But I was believing that if I couldn't practice for 90 minutes, that I wasn't getting the benefits from it. And that's not true. So I learned that sometimes you have to pivot, and that's what it feels like here. They're trying to help you to pivot with a mental belief or a process that you have where it's like, if I can't do it exactly the way that I expect to do it, then that's not worth doing at all. That's what they're trying to help you with. And it's recognizing that showing up is still beneficial, no matter if it's 5 minutes, if it's 50 minutes, if it's 2 hours, it doesn't matter. It's still beneficial. You're still going to get benefit from it and experience from it. Ancestors, what else would you like to tell pile 2? Thank you. Yeah, I keep hearing stop bending over backwards and potentially harming yourself just to maintain this image. There we go. That's what it was. Yeah, there's some reflection that needs to be done here with the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. Gaining this clarity that's going to help you really show up and do even less sometimes is more, right? This is a hard lesson to learn as humans. We always think, oh, more must be better. You know, if a little is great, more must be better. That is not always true. Sometimes less is truly more. And it can get you further ahead than if you were to do more. You know, like say someone shows up and works out at the gym for 3 hours every day, or they can't maintain that. So say they show up 3 days a week, 3 hours for 3 days a week. But then you have somebody who shows up consistently and they spend 20 minutes religiously every day at the gym except for Sunday, which is their rest day. Maybe they walk instead. Okay, the person who's showing up doing 20 minutes every day is actually going to end up a lot further than that person doing 3 hours for 3 days a week. Even though that person looks impressive, it's not manageable for the long run. And so your ancestors are saying, like, this is what we want you to look at, is whatever it is that is feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to keep up with this, I have to have this. Is that maybe an old thought process that isn't really serving you and is potentially keeping you in a position of being unbalanced and without harmony within and without feeling grounded within? Okay, so we have the 3 of Cups in the reverse. Yep, we're going to get the story as to why this exists. We have the 5 of Wands in the upright. Okay, and the Fool in the reverse. Interesting. Let's start with the 5 of Wands here, because this shows the imbalance. And the 5 of Wands talks about regaining your footing along the journey, even after something's upset your journey, after something has created dissonance in your journey, after something has created maybe just like I don't want to do this anymore. But you eventually get back to it. You eventually come back to what you were doing, right? And there's a sense of being humbled here, even with the Five of Wands and the Hermit. There's a sense of being humbled by that. With the Three of Cups and the Fool in the reverse, we see that, honestly, I'm just going to say what they're showing me. It feels like you've been trying to impress someone or maybe a group of people with the 11th house online, or maybe like people on social media expect you to have this certain image, and you've been doing your best to maintain that image and not be honest with yourself. Okay, and it's a very tricky situation that is actually playing at your emotions from having dealt with neglect or rejection in your childhood. With the Three of Cups in the reverse, this talks about parental neglect, or a child having to carry the emotional burden of their parents, and also rejection for not being a certain way or taking care of parents a certain way, which is never a child's job, and that was never your job as a child. But I feel like you carried it, and you carried it well, and maybe you got praised for carrying it well. This very unrealistic situation, and now that is something that has been really driving your current life, is that I have to put all these unrealistic expectations on myself because that seems like that's the only time that I receive recognition, validation, love, acceptance. And you're wearing yourself out. And so we see here that regardless of what has happened and regardless of this imbalance, that you will find balance again, and you'll take action based in that balance. But what your ancestors want you to do is to not take action in a way that exhausts you or drives you into the ground or puts you in a place of burnout because of this wound that continues to flare up based on your performance. So the change has to come from seeing that whatever you do is enough. Right? It's okay to set lofty goals. That's okay. But what's not okay, especially for our internal well-being, is that we set a lofty goal for the day, right? Our Monday, our daily routines. Say you set this lofty goal, you get to the end of the day, and you maybe met somewhere in the middle of your lofty goals. What are the chances, pile 2, that at the end of the day, if that's what's happened to you, that you're beating yourself up before you go to bed? Oh my gosh, you're so lazy. You didn't get everything done that you said you were going to get done. I can't believe that you didn't put in more effort. I can't believe that you were slacking. I can't believe that you spent time on the phone today. Oh my gosh, if I hadn't stopped and talked to those people today, like, I would have gotten so much more done. How could I have let those people waste my time like that? And this rabbit hole of just negative self-talk begins to be all that you're doing when you go to sleep. So then you wake up the next morning and you start in with this negative talk again. And then your actions are based on that negative self-talk, which comes from a childhood wound of not feeling like you're enough. Or not feeling like even if you were to meet your lofty goals, pile 2, you would set even higher goals and still expect to meet those, to maintain them. So the question that is coming through that can really be powerful for you is, would you expect someone you love to meet, maintain, and manage the same goals that you do? If the answer is no, why do you do that to yourself? And then the excuses start. Well, because this is how it's always been, or because, I have to complete all these things, or because all of these things are incredibly important to me. If you didn't get something done today, it'll be there tomorrow. And that's not you getting behind. That's just the fact of life. And that's what your ancestors are saying here. Like, it's vital for you to draw back your energy, and you don't have to do this alone anymore. Okay, you're not going to have to do this alone anymore. We were starting with this friend's energy coming in. 1 is a lonely number. But look, if you were carrying parents, which is not your job, it was never your job as a kid, it was completely unfair of them to put you in that position. But even now, you're still carrying all these heavy burdens because you don't trust people to help you. You don't trust that you can bring in people who are going to be sound enough to help you. Like, there's all these things that go with that. And then it's, well, people won't accept me. They're just going to run away anyways. And your ancestors are saying here that it's time for you to stop beating yourself up for not being a robot. You are human at the end of the day, and you have the same amount of time as everyone else, and you don't have to be on the go 1000% from the time you wake up until the time that you go to bed. How are you taking care of self-care? How are you loving yourself? How are you allowing yourself time to relax and rest? R&R is a vital part of this process too. And that's what your ancestors are really trying to say here with this message, that it's okay for you to rest, it's okay for you to relax, and it's okay for you to nurture yourself. I do feel like maybe you had a Cancer mother or Cancer father. That's a very specific message coming in here, but it is coming in. I do feel like you might have the 3rd house in Leo or the 5th house in Virgo. Okay? Those are very specific messages. It's okay if that's not you. That doesn't mean that this message isn't for you. That's just someone needed that confirmation for themselves. Okay? So we've got the 3rd house coming in. I was just talking about the 3rd house. We've got early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind and communication. This is something that has come from early learning, right? We were talking about that with the 3 of Cups here. This is something you learned as a child, and it's something that you've rationalized for a long time. But just because we've spent all this time rationalizing something that isn't healthy for us, no amount of rationalization is going to make it healthy for us, right? So your ancestors are asking you to find compassion in your heart, to let yourself be human, and to accept that you're not gonna be this robot who pumps out 3 hours of working out at the gym every day. Like, it's just not gonna work for you. That's just not something that's manageable for the long run. Sure, it's impressive, but what's more impressive is small steps towards a huge goal done over and over and over again until they become a part of your routine, and trusting that those small steps are going to get you to your end result. Love at first sight. You may be about to meet your future partner or your soulmate. And it's interesting here. This is actually giving me this energy that when you let go of this ridiculous idea of, and I'm not calling you ridiculous, right? In fact, I feel like this is something that was forced onto you, this ridiculous burden. When you let it go, you're going to fall in love with the process. You're going to fall in love with the journey itself. And that's going to make you feel far more harmonious and grounded in what you need to do moving forward. And that's powerful, right? Okay, cyberbully. Wow. Don't engage with cyberbullies whatsoever. And this goes back to that. I feel like you're going to build a community online, but you're also going to deal with people who are going to say mean things to you. You're going to deal with people who have something to say. And I also feel like this goes back to what I was saying. Maybe on your social media, you're trying to appear a certain way still. And they're saying, like, don't be bullied into the thoughts that your emotional ego is saying, like, oh my gosh, like, all these people who've been following you for so long, they're going to think XYZ about you if you don't maintain. Don't fall victim to that thought process, but also don't fall victim to people who are going to bully you or who trolls online. It's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of where they're at. And if they're willing to do that to a stranger they don't even know, that they've never met, Imagine how they're talking to themselves behind closed doors. This is probably not pretty. Alright, let's get some more out for you, pile 2. Okay, Leo coming out. Yeah, so confidence is key. Having confidence that what you're doing matters. That is key here, right? So you could, what did I say? Leo in the 3rd house? That could be another confirmation here. You could have Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus as well. Okay, wow. Thank you. On the bottom, look, this came out in pile 1 too. On the bottom of the deck. Mercury, dive into the details. So it's the small details that matter, right? It's not these great big leaps that we're making. It's the small, intimate, little things that we do each and every day that make the biggest difference in our lives. Okay, they're giving me another example here. This is so funny. I always laugh when this happens. I travel a lot. And so when I travel a lot, we find road buddies, right? You ever have a road buddy when you're traveling, like somebody who ends up going almost the same place that you're going to, or somewhere along the way you end up driving with each other on the road for a long time and you're like, oh, hey, so I call those road buddies. But on the journey, and when I travel to a new place, I end up seeing people pass me because my family and I, we don't travel fast. We're in an RV, and so usually we go about 65, 70 on a good day, you know, and so we're always in the slow lane, always just cruising along. And I'll watch people pass by us going 90 miles an hour so fast, right? So fast. And a couple of hours will go by, haven't thought anything of it, you know, and suddenly this person is passing us again. And I'm always like, okay. So this is that energy. It's like, just because you're doing 100 on the freeway doesn't mean you're going to get there any faster than people who are going the speed limit. Right? And that's the truth. And I've seen that happen in so many different situations. And I remember picking up a repo with a friend. Well, more like an acquaintance way back when. This was way back when. I was never a repo person. They just asked me to go along with them, and so I did. And I was driving it back, and I just put it on cruise, and I put it on cruise at 75, which was the speed limit. And they were in their tow truck, and they were doing, I mean, they kept doing 100 miles an hour, and they kept going so far ahead of me, and I never changed the speed limit or the cruise control on the car. And I would catch up with them, and then they would go really fast again and get way ahead of me, and then I would catch up with them. And it was like, just because you're going fast doesn't mean you're going farther. And sometimes because you're going faster, you actually don't get as far as you would if you were just consistently showing up. You know, I don't know why I'm hearing that Adam Sandler song. It's so dirty, but I kept hearing it at a medium pace. What is that? It's on one of his CDs, and I don't know what the CD is called, but it's just coming in. It's one of those silly songs that he does. It was an Adam Sandler song, but I heard it so loud right now. So that's what they keep showing me here. It's like they want you to come back to this place of cruising, and knowing that cruising is actually allowing you to get further along than rushing to an end result. Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Yes, and being grateful along the way is so, so important. So remembering to show gratitude as you move along. Let's get one of these out for you. Wow, okay. This one wants to come out too, so I'll take it. On the bottom, we've got cleanse. Cleansing your energy. You know, it's interesting because you may have watched the collective reading that I did at the very beginning, and this goes hand in hand with what came out in that as well. But it's all about letting yourself, freeing yourself from these thoughts where it's like, I have to be a certain way. Angel. No, baby. Thank you. Good girl. Good girl. All right. Yeah, it's a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. It's a square. This is something that's been really hard for you. I feel like it's come back again and again and again. This is something that's been pretty cyclical in your life for a long time. Because of that feeling like I was only accepted when I was being outrageous with my schedule. It's like if I'm not doing a million things, people are going to look down on me. That's not the truth. It's like your inner child, you're looking down on your inner child because that's what your parents did. And so you've become the voice of your parents somewhere along the way, and your inner child is like calling for freedom here. And it's just feels like your ancestors are here to remind you, like, what your parents did to you is not what you deserve or need to do to yourself. You deserve to love yourself and see yourself as perfect in this moment, imperfectly perfect in this moment, and know that you are enough as you are. Yeah, Earth. Persistence, patience, and practicality. Come back to this practical place. You don't have to be Speedy Gonzalez, is what I just heard. So yeah, you don't have to be like that. Look, patience. Patience, don't worry. Be happy. Everything good is coming to you at the perfect time. You don't need to rush. Patience, right? One right after the other here. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Dance! So just dance. Gonna be okay. Da, 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 da. What is that? A Lady Gaga song? Just Dance? Angel. Thank you. Because she likes to lick the bed. I don't know why she does that. It's time to dance to your favorite music and have a good time with your friends. Oh, you know what other song I'm hearing right now? I think it's by Meghan Trainor. I'm better when I'm dancing. Oh, what is that? Better when I'm dancing? I can't remember how it goes right now. Such a good song. Check that out. Meghan Trainor and Lady Gaga. Maybe you just need to put on some dance music and get out of your head and into your body for a little while. Here's what your ancestors are saying. Look, last quarter moon, tie up loose ends. Yeah, this is ending a cycle for you, this challenge here. Coming into a place of choosing to be patient with yourself, finding comfort in patience. Interesting. This came out in pile 1 too. We have Imam Koeli, which is make peace with the past. It's been rough. You didn't deserve to go through that. You didn't. But because you went through it, we can't change that, right? There's no time machine that'll let us go back and change that. But equally so, you deserve to love yourself now, pile 2. And you don't deserve to put yourself through the same thing that you went through as a child. And it's okay. No one's blaming you. You're not in trouble here. Like, that's not what's happening. But reminding yourself that you deserve to be loved, and you deserve, more importantly, to love yourself. Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Yeah, so changing the way you see how you show up for yourself here. Hunger. So this is an interesting energy, right? Because this is like solar plexus chakra energy to me. But it's like you have a hunger to be somewhere, and that hunger is what's driving you, which is beautiful. But at the same time, it's insatiable. And they're saying, like, that's not how they ever designed it to be. And so your ancestors are reminding you, like, take time to satisfy it, but also take time away from it so that you can relax and come into that peace energy. Yeah, passion. Yeah, you definitely have a passion for life, and that's a beautiful thing. But your passion should not run you ragged into the ground either, okay? So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. Stag. Trust and thrive. I love this energy for you. Trusting that it's all a part of the process, but thriving in those moments where maybe you do have to pull back a little bit. All right, Stag, where are you at the back here, right? Arrow, broken arrow, drum, moon, mountain, snake, stag. Okay. It says, come alive and thrive. Stand in your light and glory with grace and majesty. The stag guard brings graceful and powerful medicine into your life. In Celtic traditions, the stag, with his crown of antlers, is known as the king of the forest and is a totem that brings protection in challenging times. In Native American traditions, he is greatly loved, for stags and deer have provided food for the people and materials that have allowed them to create medicine items such as drums, rattles, and smudge fans. Although the stag has been hunted in the past and still is, he has strength, dignity, and poise. When this card arises, it can also represent fertility and sexuality, and maybe an opportunity to explore your sexual side with your spiritual integrity supporting you on that journey. You have an opportunity to thrive. Trust in all that you have to offer. all your gifts, strength, and power and make the most of it. You were born to lead, and this can only become a reality when you are willing to put yourself in that position. Stag energy allows you to feel safe because the antlers keep away anything that could interfere with your intelligence and presence, and their strength gives you the power to be agile in your thinking. You're being encouraged to retain your dignity and be proud of who you are and all that you have accomplished. This in turn will give you even more power to thrive, onwards and upwards. Yes, I love that for you. And it's just reminding you that, like, think about that. If you're meant to be a leader, first and foremost, pile 2, would you want to follow a leader who expects others to follow the same methods that they're doing in order to get to where you're going? Probably not, right? It would be very harsh. It would be like, wow, like, I don't want to do that. And just naturally, it would not be someone that you would follow. People like to follow others that are very human. The more human you are, the easier it is for people to relate to you. So trust in that process, and trust that no one expected you to be this absolute, I keep coming back to robot because that's the energy that it feels like. No one expected that from you. No one expected perfection from you. Even if you were as a child, that was an expectation as a child. Like, now, your ancestors, your guides, the people around you, they're not expecting it. And if the people around you are expecting it, they're not your people. Like, they're just not your people, okay? So coming back into this place of power and reminding yourself that I can be relatable, and I don't have to do things at 1,000 miles an hour. I can have patience to take this journey on and also thrive while I'm doing it, okay? So this is what I see here for you, pile number 2. If you feel like this is your message, leave the little stag. Is there a stag emoji? Well, if there is, leave that down there. If not, leave a deer emoji. Leave that emoji down below and say, I trust in this process, knowing that I was never meant to be a robot, but I can embrace and accept and be graceful in my ability to be a pure human being. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me for you to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together. And a special, let me try that again. A special shout out to your ancestors for all coming through to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst, or if you were drawn to this dice with Mercury on it, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on your ancestors to have this message for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anyone new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are truly new here, we do things a little bit differently here. So I just suggest strapping in, hanging on, and you and I are going to find out together. So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out. Ancestors of pile number 3, what is the message that you have for them today? Ancestors of highest light and love, what is the message that you have for pile number 3 today? Okay, so we've got 11th house. I cannot with you, pile 3. We have 11th house, Aquarius, and Uranus energy. Hello, Aquarians! Oh my goodness. This is all Aquarius energy here. What? This has only happened one other time that I can remember on this channel. I believe it was with Taurus energy. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Okay, so the message from your ancestors is be bold, be fearless. And as my new astrology deck says, fly your freak flag, baby. Get on out there with your bad self, okay? Let me get that. Oh my goodness. I love this for you. This is powerful because it's literally saying we're giving you the okay to be as awkward, weird, unique, silly, goofy, crazy as you know you are. And not crazy like cuckoo crazy. I mean crazy like you're just out there. You're different. Be different. Your ancestors want you to know, like, you were created this way, and that's the perfect way for you. You were never meant to be another way. You were never meant to fit in with everyone else. Why am I hearing that? Is it the Deftones and I? I don't want to be like them. Oh, what is that song? It's so, they're the people who sang Dance Monkey, but there's another song, and she says in there, she's like, the truth is that, is it them? Is it me? And then she says, the truth is that I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. And I wish I could remember the name of the song, but I can't remember the name of the song. It's called it's from Deftones and I, though. So if you know the name of the song, would you please comment that down below for other pile threes? I wish I could remember the way it goes right now, but they're just showing me right now the Deftones and I don't want to be like them. And I don't think that's the name of the song. But yeah, it's about being different, letting yourself be different, and not worrying about whether or not you're going to be accepted. Because the truth is the more you let yourself be seen, the easier it will be for you to find your tribe, and the easier it will be for you to surround yourself with people who appreciate your uniqueness, right? It's crazy, but they're showing me an image of somebody who has, I don't know what they're called, but they're piercings, you know, the piercings you get in your cheeks to imitate dimples on both sides. I'm seeing somebody with those types of piercings. I'm also seeing someone with a snake tongue right now. This is very unusual energy coming in, okay? And I love it. I love it. But I'm seeing these things, so maybe that's something you've always wanted to do, is to get those piercings done on your cheek. And, you know, I'm not saying, like, oh my gosh, this is the okay to go out and do it. Always listen to your intuition. Please, if that's what your intuition is telling you that's right for you, then do that. But if it's saying, no, maybe we should wait, then do that. You know, listen to your intuition. But it's like, I'm getting this energy where it's like you are just meant to be different. Maybe you feel like you resonate with the Andromeda starseeds as well. That's coming in. Wow, this is such a unique reading already. And did we think anything different? No. There's a lot of changes that are happening in your life, and they're meant to happen. I feel like this, for you, pile 3, it feels like one thing after the other. It's like nothing is settled down for you. And why did I just see a fountain? Maybe there's a fountain that you can visit to help kind of bring a sense of peace back into your life, or you have a favorite fountain that you go to. Maybe you just bought a fountain for the yard. Wow, that's a really specific message, but it's coming out. I just saw it. And I feel like you're wanting things to just kind of level out. Like, holy moly, it's just been one thing after the other. Can I just have a moment of peace? And this is, your journey is like speeding up right now. There's this energy where it's suddenly everything that was stagnant is getting cleared out. And so there's a lot of shifts and a lot of changes right now. And it's meant to shake you up, right? Just heard, don't shake the baby. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not saying it. It's just I don't know why that came through, but it's almost like you're feeling very sensitive to the shakeup, which is fine. That's okay. But it's like, please don't. I'm done. I don't want to be shook up no more. And that's what it's feeling like. And they're saying like this has to happen on your journey. Wow. Okay. So also you could have an online presence and you're going to be getting a lot of recognition very shortly. But there has to be these changes that happen first. Sudden progression is going to happen as soon as the changes, go through their cycle for you here. So your ancestors are walking the journey with you too. Look at that. I split the deck. We have the Wheel of Fortune with the King of Wands in the reverse. They're saying don't self-sabotage here. Let your luck come in. Okay? Let your luck come in. There could be a Sagittarius that you're dealing with as well. You could have Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius in your midhaven coming through, which would be your 10th house. Okay, and so this is saying like don't allow self-sabotage to get in the way here, because there's a lot of good luck coming for you. There's a lot of things that are shifting for you. For the Wheel of Fortune to come out, and with this energy here, it really feels like there's a huge switch up. We also have Piscean energy coming in as well. So you could have Pisces highly aspect in your chart. Look, I cannot. Okay, so the 7 of coins in the upright talks about doing things unorthodox, right? Like nothing you do is what anybody would ever expect you to do. But again, this came out on the bottom. And we're seeing here, don't let self-sabotage get in the way because you don't fit in. You're meant to be different here. You're meant to stand out. Why do I hear that song? Stand out above the crowd, even if I have to shout out loud. Tonight is the only night we'll see. You're gonna stand out. So you notice me. Yeah, you're supposed to be noticed. Right? But also, I feel like maybe you've dealt with a lot of insincere people, and people are like, oh, wow, you're so unique, you're so different, but then they use all of that against you, or they have used that against you, and your ancestors are saying that don't let those people determine how you feel about yourself. You were meant to be different. And everybody's meant to be different, but, like, it's like, your presence is so strong as it's so unique, and you're meant to have that, right? It's not just about, like, I don't think you could blend in even if you wanted to. There's just not anything about you that would ever blend in. You're meant to stand out. Come back. Now I have that song in my head. Stand up above the crowd, even if I have to. Yeah, Goofy movie. Yeah, that song is the best. I'm not even gonna lie. That is seriously like the best song ever. It's so groovy. So yeah, I just feel like that's it. And in that movie too, think about it. Max, he lied to his father, but his father, Goofy, gave him the map, and he chose a different route so that he could go to the Powerline concert, right? And that's the thing. It's like his dad was expecting them to go fishing. If you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, okay, but it's an old movie and it's great. You should totally watch it. But by the end, like, Goofy realized why Max was doing it, and Goofy ended up on the stage at the concert and just let his freak flag fly. Like, he was just all about it. He was dancing up there. Max was dancing with him. They were part of the show, and everybody was like, yeah! And so that's what it's saying. It's like the more that you feel comfortable letting yourself be seen, the easier it's going to be for you. Yeah, look, Sagittarius energy again. Are you a Sagittarius with a lot of Aquarian placements in your chart? 11:11 on the clock here. Holy crap, this is crazy. Whoa, holy Toledo. So a lot of blending of the opposites, right? Like maybe your shadow has to do with how you feel different, and it's been really hard for you to integrate that together with your light because you've always been made fun of, or you've been bullied, or people have been really cruel to you for the things that you like or who you are. And they're saying, like, you're coming into a period where this integration is going to be so fluid. But a lot of changes have to happen first. Let's see. Yeah, you're overcoming the negativity. It's scary to rock the boat, but you have the strength to do it. 11. What is happening right now, pile 3? What is happening? Oh my gosh, we have the 5 and the 6 of swords next to each other, which is 11. And then the strength card in my deck is number 11. And it was 11:11 on the clock, and I mentioned it. You got the 11th house out. This is next level. You're spiritually shifting. Whatever's happening right now is because it's spiritually destined to happen in your life. Like you basically you checked all the boxes down the list, and now because all those boxes are checked, all of this shifting is happening in your life right now. And it's scary because it feels like I'm rocking the boat. It feels very uncomfortable, right? The 6 of swords in the reverse. This feels very uncomfortable. There's a lot of weird thoughts that might be arising. There's a lot of that negative thoughts that might be arising. But we see here with the 5 of swords starting your reading that you're going to overcome that negativity within. You're also going to overcome the negativity that's outside of you, the other people who have no business saying anything about you. But just because people don't have business saying it doesn't mean that they won't say it, right? People are always going to be peopling. That's just what people do. But you're going to realize that, like, I'm so much stronger than all of that energy that's been focused on me. I'm so much stronger than all of those people saying whatever it is that they said. And so you're going to quickly overcome this and step right into this place of strength where you're not going to let anybody hold you back anymore. You're not going to let people convince you of what's right or wrong for you. You're saying what's right for me, and that's also going to help you shift into this very powerful place where sudden progression is going to happen, and it's just going to be a thing for you. It's your time. Like, that's what it feels like here. It just feels like it's your time, and your ancestors have been helping you because your ancestors are the ones that have brought up a lot of the triggers for you along your journey. Your ancestors are the ones that have also helped you overcome those triggers and let them go. And without their assistance on this journey, I don't feel like you would be as far as you are. And they want you to know that they have highly, highly anticipated you to get here exactly when you are getting here. And there's nothing that you've done wrong. You did everything you were meant to do, and you did it with flying colors. Like, they're so proud of you. I just see them in the background cheering, like, yay! Oh, they're going to be so happy for you. As soon as all this stuff happens, they're so happy for you now. But, like, as everything shifts and you start to manifest whatever it is that you've been manifesting, because it is coming, and there's going to be a sudden progression here. Like, when it happens, you're going to be happy. They're going to be so happy for you. They're gonna, yes, finally, pile 3, it's here. Oh, it's so exciting. We've been through generations and generations and generations. We've been waiting for you, pile 3. And you're our person. You are our hope. And you are the one that shifts our lineage for good. And they're just so happy and proud of you. So happy and proud. This next level. This is next level energy. And they don't want you to worry anymore. They don't want you to worry about other people. They don't want you to worry about what people might think of you. Because the truth is that you're going to be giving other people the courage to let themselves be seen, heard, and acknowledged. You're giving a voice to people who otherwise wouldn't have a voice. And so there's a reason that you were the way that you were when you were a child. There's a reason that you are the way that you are now. And I feel like you've actually focused heavily on inner child healing. And that's why you've come to this place now where it's like you face your own inner wounds, but they're also reminding you, don't let that negative thought process come back, because it's a very powerful one. It's very strong. It's not that it'll harm you, but it can It can have you backtrack, but you're overcoming it, and it's just that reminder to keep this part of you in check. That's saying like, oh my gosh, we can't do that. Like, oh my gosh, we need to be this way. Oh my gosh, we need to be that way. Oh my gosh, like, you know, and it's just putting that part of you in check and saying like, I feel free being who I am. That's what they want you to tell that part of yourself that's trying to come up. It's like, we feel free being who we are. Let's keep being who we are. Right? A lot of Aquarius energy. Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius energy, Aquarius energy. Shout out to all my Aquarians. Shout out. Because holy Toledo. Are you serious right now? Let's get some oracles out and see what else comes through. It's a very clear message here. Just keep shining. Keep showing your originality. Keep being who you are and don't worry anymore. People are going to judge you, they're going to judge you, but that is no way, shape, or form for you to stop being who you are. Yeah, exactly. Expressing yourself. Self-express and embody the truth with the sun on the bottom here. Shine your light. To shine, 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 shine your way. Yeah. Let yourself shine and be seen, be heard, be different. Oh my gosh, I cannot make this up. I'm hearing that song. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found that somebody who could make me be blue. What is that? Could make me feel true. Or even be glad. Just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen trying to be mean. What is it? Something about cost and being lost. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't even... Who sings that song? Is that a Frank Sinatra song? Maybe a Bing Crosby? I don't know. But I'm hearing that, so I feel like that's what your ancestors saying. Like, it had to be you. It had to be you. It couldn't be anybody else. So maybe you've been wondering, Pile 3, is like, why am I the one that had to go through all this? And it's like your ancestors and your higher self are saying here, like, we chose this. We're the ones that heal the lineage. We're the ones that heal the line. 1919 on the clock. We're the ones that save ourselves from the trajectory that we've been going down. And so no matter, even if you don't have kids in this life, or even if you do, whatever happens, it ends with you. That's it. It's like, that's it. You're the wall in which none of those generational curses or situations or thought processes or beliefs are going to continue. They're not going to continue with, because you're changing them. Lose your cool. Everyone has done something wrong. Even good people lose their cool. Yeah, so I feel like there's something here where you feel like you did something wrong, or maybe recently you feel like you backtracked a lot. You lost your cool, you got angry or something like that. Somebody was poking at you. I hear someone was poking the bear, and you just had enough. You were like, I am over this. And they're saying, like, don't worry about it. You had a very human moment, and no matter what, at the end of the day, starseed or not, in this human incarnation, we can all only take so much before we blow up. Wow, that just like came out. To love yourself unconditionally here is so vital. It says there's only love. You are worth loving. Exactly. I love giraffes. They're so cute. You are worth loving. And I feel like that's been really hard for you. Maybe that's the thing. It's that you had this moment recently, or maybe it's something that you keep thinking about happen. Maybe you had a monetary time in your life where a momentary... What is that? Anyways, you had a moment in your life where maybe you weren't in your best light. And you keep going back to that. You keep going back to that. And your ancestors are saying to forgive yourself. It's okay. right? Even the good ones have bad moments. There's nothing wrong with you because you had a bad moment. The simple life. Life becomes easier as you put effort into being organized and minimizing. Yeah, I feel like you've been doing a lot of cleaning the house here. Things that have been bothering you, things that have been really heavy and cluttering your mind and cluttering your journey. You let go so much. And maybe you are a minimalist. You don't have to be. It's okay. I just really feel like that's saying like you've really cleared out so much of the things that were bothering you. We have Virgo energy. Tidy up your life. Look, yeah, so you it's exactly what I was saying. You're cleaned out the closet, basically. I'm cleaning out my closet. Okay, Eminem, come in with your bad self. Oh, pile 3. I'm so glad you're pile 3. And then we have Capricorn energy. Buckle down and get to work. Yeah, so you've done a lot of healing. You've done a lot of releasing energy. And now it's okay for you to get to work. Let yourself be seen. And look at the difference here, right? Like, this is so pure. It's so simple. This is a very simple image. But then you have the Capricorn, which is very dramatic and bold. And there's a lot of bold colors here. And so it's like going from this place of bringing simplicity into your life so that you can let yourself be strong. On the buyer, I don't know what that is. We're just going with it. On the bottom, we have fire. Do it with passion. On the buyer, okay, this one wants to come out too, so we're going to go with it. It just flipped out of the deck. I don't know what's happening here, pile 3. What is happening? Okay. There's so much going on right now. It's just, your pile is next level. On the bottom, yeah, failure. I understand that a mistake is an opportunity to learn, right? And this came out in another one of the piles. And I do just want to point out right now that if you watched all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's for my Purple Heart Club. I know what that means, and I appreciate your time in all the readings. And even if you didn't watch all 3 of them, I really do appreciate you being here for any amount of time. It means a lot to me. But I feel like it's been hard because you felt like a failure. And like I said, it's like some sort of situation or scenario that keeps replaying over again in your mind. Again, you're in the process of integrating the shadow here. So it is just a process. And your ancestors are saying, give yourself time to integrate this. All right, what else would you like to say here, ancestors? Okay, I feel like that one, yeah, I'll take 2. On the bottom, yeah, anxiety. Yeah, there's a lot of fear because of something that happened in your life. Or, you know, we're allowed to be human. And humans all have moments where we make bad decisions based on how we're feeling or the emotions that are running through us at any one given point. And especially if we haven't come into a place of being emotionally mature, it is so easy to get caught up in really childish acts. And I feel like that's what's coming through is like there was a childish act that you did that keeps replaying over and over again. Like, okay, they want me to share a story with you. It's story time, pile 3. Grab your cup of coffee, kick back, maybe your blanket. Here we go. So back in 2017, I had just lost my mom. She had just passed away. It was a month after she had passed away. And I was sitting outside waiting for my ex to get done with a job interview at this. It's kind of like a warehouse, and this lady and her family were walking to their car, and where we were parked at, so her car was in this row up here, and I was like almost directly behind her like this, okay? I was the only car in this row, and there was a whole aisle in between us. There was a whole bunch of cars up here, but it was her mom, and her 2 daughters, and they were walking to their car. She gets in. She puts the car in reverse, and she just backs up and runs right into the front of the car. Boom, just totals the car. Totals it, right? The car that I had. Completely totaled it. And I just lost my mom, and I got out, and her daughters are in the back, and her daughters are probably like, I would say probably 12 and 15, around that age. I started screaming my head off at this lady. I was cursing at her. I dropped every name in the book. I leaned heavily on the F word, okay? Like, I blew my top, and she kept asking me, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? And I was like, because you walked by my car. She did. She walked by my car. She went on this side and her girls went on this side of the car, got into her car, and I was like, and you still ran into me. And I was a reason enough in my mind, okay? And I still think about it. It was a valid reason. You saw me before you got into your car, and yet you're saying that you didn't see me when you were in your car. And it was a little Saturn that I had. I mean, it's not like it was a fancy car or anything like that. It was an old beater car. And, you know, but it was total. I couldn't drive it after that because she hit me so hard that she literally crunched the front end up against the engine and up against the belt, the engine belt. And so it couldn't turn over. It wouldn't start. And her mom told me, she says, don't worry, this isn't the first time this has happened. And I was like, oh, so why are we letting her drive? Like, this has obviously been a problem. You know, I was being a jerk. I'm just going to say it. I was being a real jerk. I was very colorful with the way I showed up that day. And her mom gave me all of her insurance information because her mom's the one that insured her daughter's car. Okay, and her daughter was older than me at the time. So her daughter's in like her 40s. And I was like, this is insane. And my ex, he came out. He's like, so what the heck happened? I was trying to tell him what happened. And he goes, well, I'm not going to get that job. And I was like, why? He's like, because we all heard you screaming. And I was like, still didn't faze me. It still didn't bother me. And we went home and we had to get towed. And it was just such an issue. And the next day is when it all flooded in. That I had completely acted just off the wall, BS crazy. And I didn't have the lady's number. I don't think I would have had the courage to call and apologize. But honestly, I've had to deal with forgiving myself in regards to that. That was one of the first things that when I started doing shadow work, that was one of the very first issues that came up for me back 7 years ago. Because it was something that weighed so heavily on my heart was how I was cursing at her. Her daughters were in the car. Like, I was making an utter fool of myself. But it's not like I ever calmed down enough to tell her my mom just passed away. This is a breaking point for me. This is where the straw breaks the camel's back. And that's what it was. It was a straw that broke the camel's back. Does it mean I have the right to do that? No. Does it mean that I should have done it? I shouldn't have done it? It doesn't matter. It happened. What it means is that I'm human. I had a very human moment. And I didn't feel like I had anybody to lean on. And because I was at my breaking point, it came out in this way. And so why they're having me share this with you is because there's something here like that. It doesn't have to be the exact same story. It doesn't have to be the exact same situation. But it's where you showed up and you knew, like, immediately you regretted how you showed up. But you have to forgive yourself, right? We're all going to have moments like that in our lifetime. Nobody is perfect. And we have, like, in that moment, I was dealing with grief. And my grief got the better of me, right? Maybe you were dealing with grief. Maybe you were dealing with disappointment. Maybe you were dealing with anger. Maybe you were dealing with hurt and pain and suffering, whatever it is. Maybe your emotions got the best of you. But I feel like with this unconditional love coming out here, they're saying to love yourself the way we love you. Your ancestors, your guides, your angel source, nobody here has stopped loving you because of that situation, and nor do they look at you any differently than they did the day you were born or the day you were created as a soul. They don't look at you any differently, and they want you to love yourself as deeply as they love you. Okay, so let's get back to your cards here. No. There's a huge shift. We have radically change coming in here. And this also talks about sudden progression with Uranus. So a lot of Uranus energy, a lot of Aquarian energy here. There's just a huge shift. And I also feel like this is telling you, Pile 3, that what's the change that's happening is going to be so different. It's going to fit you so well. You're going to be like, man, how could I have ever thought it could be anything other than what it is now? Yeah, look at that. It's a challenging situation, a mountain to climb. There's been something here that's been really difficult for you to get through. but they don't want you to stop. You're in the process of integrating. You're in the process of blending those opposite energies, which is what I'm saying. That's a shadow part that I shared with you. That's something in my shadow that I shared with you, right? To integrate that into my light, it mean that I had to face that part of myself and say like, wow, that was a really ugly place that I showed up from. It was a really ugly thing that I did. We don't want to do that. Nobody wants to say I acted ugly. Like, that's not what we don't want to do that, right? Like, it was really hard for me to do that. But the minute I was able to say it and mean it and know like that was my truth, I was able to let go of the resentment at myself for how I showed up. And so that's what they're saying. You're in this process of integrating something that was really difficult that you went through that maybe was not your best day. And that's okay. Negotiation. Know when you need to call in a professional or neutral person to negotiate on your behalf. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Like, sometimes we need to rely on someone, but sometimes we don't have someone to rely on. And so we have to rely on ourselves and get to a point where we can rely on ourselves, where we say, okay, I need to take a moment. I need some space so that I can come at this with a clear head. And don't be afraid to set boundaries that way either. Wow, cyberbully. Don't engage with cyberbullies whatsoever. So this could be something that maybe someone online attacked you and you showed up in that way, you engaged with them. But I also feel like this is what they're saying, like, don't engage with people who are trying to poke at you. It just doesn't solve any issues. It's just maybe people are trying to manipulate you into acting a certain way. And that's what they're saying, like, don't fall for that. You've come so far, it's not for you to fall into that energy anymore. And even if this is reminding you of something that you did prior, still come back to that place of self-forgiveness. There's a whole bunch of blessings coming. Benefics. Let the blessings unfold. A lot of beneficial energies coming into your life. Your ancestors are bringing a lot of blessings in for you. They've been trying to help you see this, but I do feel like there's a situation here where you're really beating yourself up, and they're trying to bring you back into this place of knowing, like, this is not going to stop you from receiving your blessings, but it will make you feel bad. And the only way to receive our blessings is to come into that higher light vibration so that we can receive those blessings with open arms and see them as the blessings they are. And remembering that we don't have to engage with this negative energy. You're overcoming that negativity. Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. A lot of heart healing here. A lot of happy energy coming to you as well. Letting go of that energy of negativity, anger, hurt, pain that's been in the past is going to bring you into a much more settled place as well. Frustration. Yeah. This is something that's been really frustrating for you. I'm not surprised that that card came out. Well, what else do we have? Ghost. Okay, so maybe someone ghosted you. Okay, or maybe you disappeared after this happened. Like, you just kind of went silent and you were like, oh my gosh, like, I can't even show my face, or whatever it was, right? And they're saying, like, absolutely, we understand that. Or maybe this is because someone ghosted you and maybe you told them how you felt in either a direct or an indirect way, right? You expressed your frustration and they're still ghosting you, and it's still a frustrating situation. They don't want you to focus on how frustrating this situation is. They don't even want you to focus on the fact that you might have been ghosted, right? That anxiety coming up on the bottom over there. It's a lot of heavy energy to come up here for these prism cards to come out. And I do want to just check and see what's under this. Disruption. Yeah, it's disrupting you from moving forward. We want you to come back into this place of comfort, trusting in the magic again, finding the sweetness with your life, and letting your creations lead you back into a place of balance. Okay? Yeah, so there's this energy of coming back into balance for you. So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book for you. Look, snake. We have shed old skin. Wow. This is very telling. Very, very telling here. This is something of the past, and that's why they don't want you to beat yourself up. Like, you could have been Rough Rider in the past. That doesn't mean you're a Rough Rider now, right? I have met people who have lived incredibly wild lives who have told me stories about their past, and I'm like, really? Because that's not who you are. And they're like, yeah, now that's not who I am, you know. But that's the thing. It's like we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch things up in our lives when we're healing. Why? Because our healing lets us let go of what was keeping us in that place of chaos or wildness. Even it's okay to let your freak flag fly. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. But coming into a place of balance and being comfortable with your uniqueness is the main thing here. Cast off the old. Reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. It says, in many spiritual traditions, the snake offers powerful medicine. In tantric yoga, it symbolizes the kundalini, which is a powerful serpentine energy, which allows you to reach your highest spiritual potential. When the sacred one saw a snake in nature or encountered one in a dream, they knew that there was a transformation in the air. The snake card not only represents the shedding of old skin, but moving beyond the limitations caused by carrying the venom of negative thoughts about others or the past. How, oh my gosh, that is so significant. I don't feel like this is, hold on, I'm going to move that, see if that'll, there we go. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've been misread by others, know this energy is now leaving you. As you've been working through your old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated, along the way you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of that work you've been doing within. If you feel someone you love has misunderstood you recently, they will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. This is a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. Let yourself be reborn and celebrated. I love this message for you. It's okay. It's okay to have human moments. Don't let those human moments become the truth of who you are, because you're so much more than that moment in time, pile 3. You're allowed to have human moments. We all experience human emotions on our journey, okay? None of us are exempt from that in this human experience. So remembering that and knowing that, yeah, maybe this wasn't my best moment, but it's okay. I can learn from it and I can move on from it. You know what? I keep seeing, Rafiki and Simba? When Rafiki hits Simba on the head and he goes, ow, what was that for? And Rafiki says, it doesn't matter. You can either learn from it or run from it. That's exactly what I feel like your ancestors are saying right now. Like they're smacking you on the head and you're like, ow, what the heck is that for? And they're like, it doesn't matter. Are you going to learn from it or are you going to run from it? It's your choice. It's your choice. But don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, okay? That's the main thing here. They don't want you to do that because you have come so far. You've done so much. And no one is expecting you to show up as a perfect human in this world, okay? I love you, pile 3. I'm so honored I got to do this reading for you. This is absolutely phenomenal reading. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little snake emoji down below and say, I choose to see myself through eyes of unconditional love, knowing I'm allowed to have imperfect moments in life, but I choose to learn from them so that I can bring in the life that I so desire. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me for you to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links in the description box in order to do so, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming through, as well as a special shout out to your ancestors for coming in so powerfully on this reading. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.